Welcome back to Hidden Power. This is a Pokemon podcast. Today we are joined by GatorEX. Today we're talking about Feraligatr, the Reggie's beta Pokemon, and uncovering some secret GatorEX videos. The original crew is with us. Lumios Post, what's up, man?
What's up?
Soul Silver Art is also here.
What up?
And GatorEX is the fourth member to this crew right now.
Howdy.
So Gator, thanks so much for being here with us. Let's start with some speed round questions. How about that? Just to get you a little bit acclimated to the channel.
All right.
Let's start with this. What is your hidden power type?
Is this something we can look up and find out, or are we just saying just in general?
Like, what would you choose for your hidden
We
power?
should make a BuzzFeed quiz for this.
Yeah, this is equivalent to your astrology.
Exactly. Okay. Well, what I would want is Psychic, because ideally I would already know Ice, Dragon, Water, hopefully.
Yeah.
But if it's like the type that I am inside, I guess, then it probably is like Water.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I know the answer to this next one, but what is your favorite Pokemon?
Totodile.
Love it.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Or,
wow.
I mean,
Who'd know?
switch off between Totodile for Alligator. But,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, same thing.
We get
How
a
do
lot
you
of-
feel about Croconaw?
Crocodile is cool, but you know,
Just not the other
if
two.
I could have Totodile and just have him Digivolve straight to like Feraligatr and then back to Totodile after battle, that's it. That
Right.
perfect Pokemon
Yeah.
right there.
That would be an interesting
Understandable.
concept if like every evolution works just like Mega Evolution.
I would be down for that Totodile to do a Feraligatr Digivolve like that. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, no, I always like the concept of like, oh, you can have the little buddies while you're traveling, but then the big guys when you need to fight.
Yeah, that is cool. Okay, so what's your favorite Pokemon game?
Okay, of main series,
Yeah.
I honestly would probably say Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, just because I think by like Gen 6 I just really like how everything had kind of come together in terms of like the mechanics, and I just really always loved Hoenn. I mean, I really love Johto, but I kind of think Hoenn is better than Johto. So basically, the definitive version of Hoenn, minus the Battle Frontier.
Yeah,
That's
I was
wild.
about to say, can you forgive them for the Battle Frontier
Can
thing, though?
I for the what is it for the little radar thing? What is it? The
Poke
that
Radar?
feature?
Or no, it wasn't the Poke
it wasn't
Radar.
Poke Radar.
Poke
It
Radar
was
is really
the,
cool.
Pokenav? It was something
Pokenav,
else.
that's it, yeah,
Dexnav.
Pokenav.
Dexnav was the...
Dexnav.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the Dexnav, for the Delta episode, Mega Evolution, yeah, sure. I can forgive it.
It's
Yeah,
wild that
that's
like
fair.
Oras is actually like really nostalgic. I'm thinking about it right now, and I always go back to I played probably Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald the most because I also played it just as much as I was a kid, but in college as well on my GameCube.
Yes.
So it's so nostalgic for me. But honestly, just hearing you guys talk about, I'm thinking right now about Oras, and I'm like maybe I boot up a new file.
Yeah, I have only played it once,
Yeah. Okay.
but I just have so much about it.
Yeah.
They're great games. I mean, I think that's like one of the few games that like 99% of the community can agree were great games.
Yeah, but
Yes,
when they
yeah.
came out, people were not very happy with
Yeah,
Omega
I
Ruby,
remember
Alpha
that.
Sapphire.
Well, that was because of the Frontier thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
And
And
for the record, that's understandable.
it is.
yeah, Battle
was
Frontier
rough.
and sure Game Corner. I think those are like the only two things going against
Yeah.
it,
Yeah, the
basically.
Game Corner.
Well, see, Game Corner, I wasn't upset about because, like, I knew it was coming. You know, it had
Yeah.
been that
Yeah.
way for a bit. I mean,
No, I agree. Game Corner was never
was-
like that much fun, but it's nostalgic.
Yeah, it's
like-
like it's the fun little time sink.
Yeah.
can I say my hot take and then see what you guys think on it? It's our last good remake.
Ooh. Doesn't Legends Arceus counts?
Legends Arceus
Yeah.
isn't a remake. That is not remotely a remake.
Legends Arceus, I don't count it as a remake, but like I kind of do, because obviously Game Freak didn't want to make the Diamond Pearl remake.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we want to make this game instead, Legends Arceus. So here, someone else is going to make the remake, and then we'll do this cooler thing.
Yeah. They'll
Yeah.
be the bad guy.
Yeah,
Like
Yes.
within the context of a remake, it's like you have to like where else are you gonna classify it? It would go with the remakes. Gator, I was on your channel and I went as far back as I could to see what your earliest videos were. The oldest video I found was called Top 5 Cutest Pokemon of Alola. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. So like he must have started, right out the gates, with some Alola content. Love that with the top 5s, top 10s. I like the twist with the cutest Pokemon. But then there was a hyperlink within the video that brought me to an unlisted video about.
Oops.
Yeah. Oops. Let's see.
There you go, Dusty.
I think it was called Top 5 Cutest Ghost Pokemon. So I really want to know, how far back does your channel span, and how many unlisted videos are you hiding?
Oh, how many? All right, I'm hiding a lot of unlisted videos because more recently, just in general, I kind of started just unlisting old videos. Like, it started with, okay, anything under 500 views, unlisted. Anything under 1,000 views, unlisted. Anything from this time period under 10,000, unlisted. Just because, like, a lot of those really old ones I just don't think are very good, and I don't think a lot of people are really going to watch. The oldest videos are deleted. I don't delete videos anymore.
Okay.
Because I find myself, like, missing them.
Yeah.
And I just want them for reference. So I unlist things, if at all. And, like, a lot of them are still available, like, in the playlists that are public. Okay. So it's like you can still watch them. But it's just like those aren't, like, very well edited. Technically, I started my channel summer of 2015. So right after Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire came out. That was the game that really got me wanting to, like, make Pokemon content, even though it wasn't very good, like the content I was making. I think then it was mostly just, like, really quick, like, oh, hey, here's, like, my Pokemon card collection. Or I try to feel like scripted and edited things here and there. And then for maybe a year, I didn't do anything. Then come 2016, we get the announcement for Pokemon Sun and Moon, and everybody's making content about it. And May of 2016 is kind of when I said to myself, you know what? Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot going on in life at that point. So I said, you know what? I think this is it. I think from now on, I'm going to try and make content about Pokemon at least every month. So I say the official start of my channel is May. And I can... Well, hang on. I was going to say I can pull it up, but I have to really scroll.
I'm going to have to go through those playlists and find some old videos.
I know for a fact the oldest existing video on my channel is top 4 unanswered questions about Pokemon Sun and Moon, where we're going over the trailer. Or I'm going over the trailer. Like the second or third trailer that came out. And I'm just kind of talking about it. And then after that, that's kind of when, like, Birdkeeper Toby was doing all the My Pokemon Gym tag or challenge thing, or where he just kind of invited anybody to make videos like that.
Do you have some of those?
Yes, I did one.
Ooh.
So that's the second oldest video I think on the channel.
Oh man, I gotta find these.
I know they're not very good.
I'll have a confession
Okay,
about it all, actually. Well, I'll let you do that first. Say what you were saying.
Oh no. But yeah, so leading up to Pokemon Sun and Moon, just a lot of content. Like your general things here and there of like, oh, here's this analysis of this trailer, or oh, why isn't Solgaleo fire type, or oh, my theory about like the legendary Pokemon of the games leading up to it. And it was like fun little stuff. And then I feel like right when we're getting to right about the release of the game is kind of when things started like actually being good. And that is where like what the top content.
Okay.
And like right before it came out and then right after it came out. So that was all the stuff of like, top 5 cutest Pokemon or top 5 ugliest Pokemon, or like top 8 weird NPCs in the game and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that is kind of like the first start. But I will say that like I continued, through Sun Moon, Ultra Sun Moon, Let's Go. But me personally, I think that most of the stuff past Sword and Shield is the good stuff.
Nice. I mean, that's when I found your channel. I feel like your videos now, like the whole like top 5, top 10 thing, that was a huge trend. It was, I feel like it was like really good for creators or like, people to make videos about. It's like top 5 anything, literally anything. Cutest ghost type Pokemon in Alola. Like that's so niche. So how old were you?
I know. I was in college.
2015?
I was in college.
I think.
Yeah, 2015, 2016. Yeah, I was in college. I felt like a kid though.
Yeah,
basically. What I mean, you are a kid in college.
You really are.
I'm a baby.
You felt like you were adults.
He's a baby.
Yeah.
what I was gonna say was that I used to watch your channel. I don't watch as much these days, but I don't really watch as much like Pokemon YouTube content these days in general because I'm crazy busy.
Okay.
But
Yes.
I used to watch like those videos specifically. Like that's what I watched from GatorEX.
Wow.
Like that's what I knew GatorEX was for the longest
wow.
time. But I still
You
freaking
know.
love like top 5, top 10s. I'm like still like just tweeting out top 5, top 10s, whatever, as much as I possibly can. It's fun stuff to hear like other people's like opinions and favorites and all that. I don't know. There's like some kind of weird I guess stigma might be the word around like people's opinions nowadays, but back then it was just like, oh cool, I like to hear what you like, you know. I liked it.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of your like this was my team in this generation kind of thing, and all of those were good. I liked them.
Which that was another like thing people were doing. It basically was like, yeah, just what is everybody else doing? And I think it's easy, and I think there's definitely a thing of like community there, especially because I think that really was, and you know, I think Birdkeeper Toby has deserves a good amount of that credit, because I feel like he would just kind of constantly be making things in a similar vein, or being like, hey, you know, here's my Pokemon gym for Pokemon Sun and Moon. What do you guys think, or what would your Pokemon gym be? And that kind of like led into a lot of other things, like kind of similar content, where it is like, oh, you know, this is a type of video that everybody makes, right? And, you know, not just for Sun and Moon, but like, okay, Ultra Sun and Moon, so let's do it again, right? Or during the course of Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, okay, let's do it again for this year.
That is the kind of the magic. It's like Pokemon. It's like every year you can like reinvent an old video idea.
Yeah.
No, I love that. I remember that those types of videos being all over YouTube. Like I was if we're talking 2015, I was 15. I was in high school, but just started high school.
He is a baby.
I am a baby. I just like, man, like y'all are like sending me back in time. Like I remember those the gym challenge one specifically. I remember that so vividly, and like, what would your evil team be, and all that. Oh man, that's such good times. I wasn't a part of the YouTubing, but it was good times for me too as a viewer.
Oh yeah, no, like if you're watching it, it's still cool, and I think it was a big thing of like, leading up to Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. I think that time specifically was kind of what really got me interested in Pokemon YouTube. I think, you know, Sun and Moon still has like probably one of the biggest lead ups to a Pokemon game ever.
Yeah.
But I watched a lot during Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, like I said, and that's kind of what got me to want to start making videos.
Back in during that time period, I was checking Sarah B literally I'd wake up, check it 3 times a day for new news, whatever it was. I was going on YouTube. I would type in search terms and then sort by like latest uploads. So it's like stuff from like people who have maybe 10 subscribers. I was like fiending for any sort of content I could get. And yeah. It's just a different era back then. Now what's crazy is like seeing Pokemon creators like get to a point where, you know, where they're actually working with non-Pokemon creators, right? Where they're trending on gaming.
Oh yeah.
That almost makes me like I'm happy. I'm so pumped. But part of me makes it reminds me it's like it's not as personal. It's not as like it's like this little community that was a little community. I mean, it's always been a big community, but it's cool to see how far it's really grown over the last 10 years.
It's bittersweet though. It's bittersweet because it's like, you know, you want it to be personalized, and you almost are kind of like you know, I mean, he's never gonna see this video, but like, I remember like the first big one was like Logan Paul like got involved with like the cards thing, and I remember kind of just being like, he can't even name anything other than Charizard and Pikachu. I bet he doesn't deserve to be here. You know, and like that's super like toxic. That's such a terrible attitude to have. But like, I it is that bittersweet feeling of like, it is cool they're on there, but also I want it to be mine. You know,
definitely.
Yeah, but people love Pokemon, you know. If they love Pokemon, they're allowed to be around.
100%.
Right, absolutely. No, anyone's allowed to be around. I'm you know, I'm just a toxic person, I guess.
So let's change topics a little bit. Gator, some of your most viral videos are about the Reggies, the Hoenn series. You want to give us a little backstory on that?
So that was definitely, I guess, kind of like one of the first big videos like I was saying, right, I was making videos during Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun Moon, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I feel like there's a little backstory to it. It probably a good amount if you don't mind me.
Yeah, go on.
Please.
So yeah, maybe 2018. I think my channel had reached. The channel was big, 7,000 subscribers, which is a pretty big Pokemon channel. But then I kind of like stagnated, and looking back on it, I realized it was probably really all on me because I feel like I wasn't putting out a lot of stuff. Again, we're talking about like unlisted videos. I think maybe only 8 videos from 2018 are public, because a lot of it was just pretty, like, honestly boring stuff. Like, new trailer, here's my reaction to the trailer with, minimal editing, slap some music on. And then going into 2019, I really tried to shake things up because, Sword and Shield was coming out. And then after Sword and Shield came out, I feel like then I started kind of getting the hang of things. But I also started doing like weekly reviews of the Pokemon anime episodes. And it got to the point where I would just kind of like fall back on that, where I was like, okay, I want to upload at least once a week. And I feel like oftentimes I would say to myself, well, I don't really feel like doing much else, but at least the episode's coming out this week so I can make a review about it. Mm. So most weeks would just be, okay, review of the episode, because it's easy to do. And then we go into 2020. And I was kind of trying to start to make like some better videos here and there, just after, all these years of, learning and kind of getting better and just absorbing everything that I could in terms of like, videos that I like to watch. And then, full on 2020, everything stops. Everything's closed. Oh, yeah. The anime stops putting out new episodes. Then it's like, okay, well, now I can't just fall back on the anime. All 3 of my jobs are saying, okay, yeah, we're on pause right now. Don't come in. Okay. So I'm just at home, and I started cooking. That's it. I started cooking, and so I just kind of like. I think I would say that 2020, May to June of like 2020, I feel like is when my channel like really started, or like the second breath. Yeah. Because again, the channel was, for all intents and purposes, pretty dead. Yeah. And then this happens. It's so weird because like, with everything that went on 2020, it just ended up being like a perfect storm for me personally to, get off my butt and start doing actual content. So I feel like the Reggie video, specifically that one, again, was much more of...
Can you explain what the Reggie video is for people who aren't familiar with it? Yeah. I mean, these videos have like over millions of views.
So the first one, which is simply titled Un, with the umlauts over the U. And the thumbnail is just Reggie Rock, and the text that says the exact same thing, white background. This probably the simplest thing, you would not expect it. And I started so that video specifically, it's just kind of like a retrospective about the Reggies, talking about, how would you obtain them? This is how you would obtain them in the old games. Here's how they came back in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Here are some memes and jokes every so often. And I was really trying to take a big step in terms of editing. Just, doing like not random, but just kind of the extra things that I normally wouldn't do. And it was really just a way for me to just kind of like, I said to myself, I'm just going to throw everything I can in this. And this is going to be great. This is going to be amazing. And that one I'm a little embarrassed about still, because the whole thing culminates throughout the video. I'm making references to the third impact from Evangelion throughout the video. And so the entire video ends with just me popping in, and I sing a bit of Comme sur Todd, like the song from the end of Evangelion movie. And that's how the video ends. And so, like I said, it literally is just I just threw every idea I had at the wall.
It's just like video. Anime culture taking over and just like lifting that. Yeah. It's incredible.
Yes. And somehow it took off. It took off. Like all of it paid off.
That's awesome.
And that's how I see it, is that like I'm just going to try to take not as much risk, but like I said, I'm just going to throw every idea I have at this video. And at first, though, the title was something like "The Reggies Were Weird," but the reason I had that as the thumbnail is because that was the current meme going around about the Reggie Pokemon with the with the weird noises they make. And so then I changed the title of the video to that also, just very simple. I'm like, instead of that, let me just play into it. And I think a huge majority of the comments on that video are saying things like, oh, I expected this to be a meme video, but I was surprised that it was this really cool, retrospective or something along those lines. And I feel like that's also kind of what continued with future videos, where it's like, from the thumbnail and title, it looks like it'd be like a meme video.
Yeah.
That lasts maybe a few seconds, and it starts off with like a meme at the beginning, but then it's like, all right, cool. Then we start talking about everything else.
Yeah, man, it sounds like really that was like the turning point of your channel, where you realized this is like a new pathway. I mean, I think honestly, those types of videos that you make are really like, no one else makes videos like that, right? I mean, everyone's got their own style, but I think that really is like your own thing, which is so cool. So what's your favorite Reggie? Because I'd love to talk about like the Reggies in general. I think the Reggies are so cool.
I'd say my favorite now is Reggie Rock, just because of the memes.
True.
I think.
What about you, Lomi?
Like,
of the Reggies, that's hard.
I'll say mine. It's not hard.
What's your soul?
Yeah,
it's Reggie Alecki. I like the most.
Yeah.
The new ones are so good.
I think mine is between Drago and Alecki.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the competitive side of things, and I think if I was going off of design, I would have said Drago, but I think I lean Alecki because of its prowess in the competitive scene.
I wish, dude, it bothers me so much that Reggie Drago is not symmetrical. I don't know why that bothers me so much.
Yeah, no, I get it. I
do like the mouth. I like how the mouth and the body is just the source of energy, like a fire blast or whatever, or like a dragon pulse.
Oh my gosh, I'm having flashbacks to when we did our tier list. Y'all are the most picky people on the
planet. So like, I mean, I thought it was really cool that we actually got new additions to like the Reggie trio, right? Or I guess it was a quartet.
Dude, that was so cool. I want more.
I want more too.
And Scarlet and Violet DLC, give me 2 more.
Definitely.
What could they? Because the theory was that like Reggie. The theory was that it was like the what is it, the Ice Age,
Stone Age.
Stone Age.
I said Edge. I'm competitive mindset.
Yeah,
constantly.
Stone Age, and then the Metal Age or the
Iron
Age
was it?
Yeah, and then it just breaks.
The Age of Dragons, and then the like Modern Age or the Age of Electricity.
It could be like medieval, like dragon, medieval.
Or Middle Ages, Dark Ages.
Yeah, that could make sense.
I mean, you could do like the Age of Magic with fairies. You could do Age of Fire, like when like people started learning how to utilize fire with a fire type.
Or like
Age of Exploration could be ocean. And then Age of like what they call the age like where planes were really big, whatever they called that, like Age of Aviation. Flying type. You can make an argument for almost anything except Poison, the Apocalypse.
That would probably be the coolest Reggie.
Poison was just.
I mean, there's already so many like great art that's already been created. So like, I mean, surely I don't know. I wonder if like, I don't know when they introduce even the birds, when they give the legendary birds like new forms. Part of me is like, are they just gonna keep doing stuff like that? It feels really deliberate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, they kind of are. I mean, like, we know, like, the Scarlet and Violet DLC will have... I think they are wanting to revisit different legendaries, but I think they're wanting to change the ways. Like, they're not going to do just a new addition to the Reggies every time or a variant of this trio every time. I mean, but we see, like, in Scarlet and Violet DLC, they're changing up the Swords of Justice, and they're changing up the legendary beasts. They're doing something to reuse those designs and revitalize them in a way, but in a way that's very specific to this gen. And I think they'll always do that. Like, I've got my fingers crossed. I was hoping it'd be Paradoxes, but apparently it won't be. Give me new Lotties.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Ooh.
Or like a form for them. Something.
That's interesting.
I don't care.
Just the Lotties, they have a mega form, right? And the mega form is already some sort of. I mean, it is actually 2 different mega forms, but they both kind of combine the blue and the red to make purple. Yes. I could see there being a paradox, or I imagine it would look similar to how Iron Valiant is a fusion of Gallade and Gardevoir,
Yeah.
so I think that's totally valid. But dude, the
Like
Latias
a
are
Roaring
sick.
Moon.
Yeah, right.
Kind of brings out the Mega Salamence vibes.
Exactly.
That's what I'd imagine a paradox for Latios and Latias would do is like it would still take inspiration from that Megas. I mean, like I did a theory on my channel about how I think like the whole reason Roaring Moon looks like Mega Salamence is because all Mega Evolution is the Pokemon pulling from like latent ancestral DNA to bring out an evolution. So if that's the case, hypothetically, Latios and Latias' Mega would be reminiscent of whatever they look like, which is also why I said like why they're red and blue is because if a purple Pokemon were to split into two genders, it would make sense that it would be red and blue because purple split up is red and blue.
That's true. Yeah.
Exactly.
Color theory.
Yeah.
This is complicated stuff.
The 3 primary colors. We can do the whole song. Did y'all do that in elementary school? Was that just me?
We didn't have a song, but I do remember. I actually do remember the first time I learned like. I'm like, wait, yellow and blue make green? Like, I actually remember being at my daycare. I'm not gonna dox myself. But
He's not gonna go that far.
I like actually
We're going way
remember that
back
so vividly. I was just like, whoa, what? This is a
Dusty's mind is blown. He's sitting there in the daycare class like, teacher,
wait, you're telling
let
me
me stop you
that
there.
Green T-shirt is blue and yellow.
Comes home, Mom, Dad, you are not gonna believe what I found out today.
I actually, dude, I'll never forget like the first time I saw Latios just like appear in Gen 3 over the water. That was the coolest thing of all time.
No, see, I had the benefit of the first time I saw the Lotties was in the movie. So, because that's like kind of when I started getting into Pokemon. I got into the anime first, and it was like around like end of Gen 3-ish or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I was going to my local Blockbuster. So a flashback for you. And you know how it is. You like Pokemon or whatever it is you're into. You go to the Blockbuster and you get every single DVD related to that topic that you can.
True.
And so for me, it was the Heroes movie, and with Latios and Latias. And man, I'm telling you, like instant love for those Pokemon. I mean, they're irreplaceable to me.
I've never seen that movie.
Me either.
Dusty, we're hosting a live stream.
Actually,
We should do that.
I was just thinking of like, I kind of want to rewatch it, and maybe for a video, but
You
There we
should.
go.
I mean,
that'd be a distant excuse.
your live streams are really cool because you'll kind of like just pick a random thing and just do that for like a couple days or a couple weeks, and then like, switch it up. It's fun. It's like, and you make every video, every live stream like, this is the first time I've ever played, Pokemon Puzzle League. Like you kind of make an event out of this like old thing that like isn't that exciting, but it's still Pokemon related. Actually, that reminds me. Like you do, honestly, you have such a variety of different topics that you cover on your channel. It's not even just. I mean, some of the most recent ones you've been making are like Pokemon crossovers and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But I'd love to hear like what your favorite Pokemon spin-off games are, because I think some of them are like pretty underrated.
All right. Wait, you mind if I say something about Latios?
Yeah. We just jumped to a
Sorry, I got
free reign.
Always.
Yeah, I got zapped back immediately because like the first time I saw either of them, it was Latios actually. This was like an older friend, and he shows me on his Game Boy this Pokemon called Latios. It has this, this move called Luster Purge, and I'm just like, what is this? How do you do this? How do you get this? And it's one of those things of like it just blew my mind. I'm like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever.
No, it is. It is. And, like, every time they've been in the anime, they've been so cool. Because, like, there was that movie. They were amazing in the movie. Then you have Tobias come in with his and kick some butt in the Sinnoh League. Then you have, the Hoopa movie. They come in and Mega Evolve, and it's the same ones from the original. And, like, even now, like, we're all caught up with the anime, right? They have a Latios is like following Ash right now in the anime, and like there's a lot of rumors that he might catch it before he leaves or whatever. But either way,
is this the same one he
regardless
kissed?
of what happens,
Is that it?
we should do a whole video on did he kiss Latios or the girl?
Stop! You're spoiling my Valentine's Day video.
That's the Dusty. That's actually the mother of the new character who will be coming in the new series.
Oh,
no. Boy, where are you going?
She's at Pokemon.
I don't like this.
Where are you going? Oh no.
No.
That's true. The character he does have. He has what is he? He has like red hair, right?
Oh, I meant the other one. I meant the girl.
It could be. I
because
just
it's
assumed
Ash's and Latios' daughter. No.
Oh my goodness.
Comments. I do not really think this. Please don't hurt me.
No. That's the thing with Pokemon. Anything that's red and blue, like you can't come up with any theories. It's red and blue for thematic reasons.
It's true. Red, literally, 100%. Red. Every single game is red and blue except for, I would say, Sun and Moon. But orange is red and purple is blue. Like it's still that drastic
he even
contrast.
says
warm
this.
and cool.
He says this with just the TCG battle styles, the Urshifus, red and blue.
right behind you.
It always is.
Yep.
Actually, I would say gold and silver and black and white are the only two. Even though they're contrast, they
but
actually
see, gold
are
and silver. Look
nothing.
at the legendaries. Look at the legendaries.
Yes,
Ho-Oh has
they are
red,
and
Lugia
blue.
has blue, Zekrom glows blue, Reshiram glows red.
Yeah, okay, you got me.
They always incorporate it.
Well, let's go as the one that isn't it. That's right.
True.
Yeah, that is true because it's
That's true.
yellow and brown.
Pikachu has red cheeks and Eevee evolves into Vaporeon.
That's true.
We did it. We did it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So yeah,
I guess with
Pokemon spin-offs.
red and blue.
Would love to hear about Pokemon spin-offs. Like what your favorites are.
Can I take your question and tweak it a little bit?
Sure.
Okay, so your question, still answer it. What's your favorite spin-off? But then also, we've had Pokemon recently has been like kind of giving new life to some of these spin-offs. So if on Pokemon Day they are announcing a sequel to a spin-off, what spin-off are you choosing there to be a sequel to?
I like it.
All right. Definitely. Pokemon. All right. Pokemon Pinball Ruby Sapphire.
Let's go.
It's my go-to favorite. It's my go-to favorite spin-off game.
I should have my Game Boy right here.
Yeah, no, shoot. I should too, because I still have like a long game that's still running on it.
I've never
Oh my
played
gosh.
That's
Awesome.
Well, yeah, because you can like just save, close it, turn it off, and then just come back to it the exact same. Well, okay, my big idea, honestly, I think we need more of like the weird little mini games for Pokemon. Like, yeah, Pokemon Pinball is great, but what if? This is my crazy thing. Sure, I'd love another Pokemon Pinball game on the Switch, but what I really, really want is I want Pokemon Arcade. And it's just a collection of like these things. You got Pokemon Pinball. You got maybe a few mini games in the style of Pokemon
like
Stadium.
Yeah.
You got.
Yeah.
Oh, so these are new games. These are new ones.
One game.
Well, that's my idea. Yeah, make one game, Pokemon Arcade, and it's just a compilation of these games.
Yes,
That's
that would
what
be
I
good.
say.
That would
does
be
make
really
sense.
good. I do like that.
I think it's really easy for us to be like, oh, what game should they make based on what they've already made?
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, pinball, Tetris, that was popular back then. Nowadays, it's like, what, Subway Surfers? Maybe that's not even popular anymore, right? Ooh. Like, what other mobile games, I guess, could...
I've always said, I guess this isn't mobile. Well, I mean,
right,
I think there's mobile versions of it, but I've always said, like, I wonder if they'll ever do either a, like, Pokemon version of Mario Kart, or, more likely, in my opinion, put Pokemon characters in Mario Kart. Because, like, you can play as Link and I'm pretty sure Animal Crossing characters in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And the Inklings from Splatoon.
Okay, and the Inkling from Splatoon. I didn't know that one.
And they put Pokemon in Smash, so, like, what what are they doing?
Right. So give us Pokekart. Where I can ride as a Pikachu.
Give us Pokemon Dash 2, but make it good.
True.
That's a good idea.
That's good
They
too.
did. They did have Pokemon Dash, but that was on the literally the first DS.
Well, and you had like
but
like,
make it good was the key.
Make it good. Yeah, exactly.
Pikachu's Adventure and Pokepark had like a little racing game. The first one had like a little racing game. That's the only thing I remember from it, really. That and the Primate that knows Iron Tail.
What's the one where they're like little chibis?
Rumble.
Rumble's so much fun. Rumble's a lot of fun.
Weren't they going to make another game of that, but it got canceled?
Probably. I mean,
I remember like there was something like
I know what you're talking about.
either a like a trademark for it or something that came up and it got canceled. I think it was supposed to be mobile. I could be wrong. Quest was also good.
Quest is
and
what I
then
was thinking.
China got like more expansions to Quest and we didn't.
Dude, that's so unfair.
I know. I feel very very upset about that.
The best thing in that game is that you can actually find shinies. And you're seeing like 500 Pokemon at a time, so like it's pretty easy to find them. Yeah.
I didn't know that. In Quest?
Oh no, not Quest. I'm sorry. I'm still on Rumble.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, whoa.
No, yeah. Because there was the Johto.
I didn't know you couldn't Rumble either, though.
Johto Rumble.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you could.
Wow.
I never played it. Oh no, Quest. I've never played Quest.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's
they're so the same to me in my mind,
fine.
which makes a lot of sense. They're very similar.
Dude,
Quest is the original Knuckle stack.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, that was like
You're
our
right.
test.
Testing it out.
Cubes.
Yeah.
It's like let's see what the kids will think of cube Pokemon.
Right.
Yeah.
Gator, do you play Pokemon Go? I mean, Pokemon Go really is like the ultimate Pokemon spin-off game.
I play it when I get a chance.
Yeah, when there's a community
like,
day, I pop in, I get some stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. And actually, like, I think probably the last, in December I was like, okay, let me just really try to catch up on things and complete all the leftover quests that I have.
Yeah.
But it's definitely it's fun. I like it. It's a good kind of like, a mobile game, right?
Yeah.
No strong commitments to it. Though what I love about it is that during community days you can get shiny Pokemon easier, and then you can just transfer them into the main game.
Yeah. Which we can't. Yeah, we don't even have Pokemon Home yet.
Soul, have you even
it'll come
touched
eventually.
Pokemon Go?
I played Pokemon Go when it first came out, and that was it. Like,
Yeah,
it
that
wow.
seems like you.
yeah, I played it for like a little bit too. Like the whole like Pokemon Go mania thing that was happening, I was not even playing at that point. Like I played when it first
that was
came
the
out.
same with me.
Like first came out,
I-
and then I was like, oh, this is all right. You gotta like walk around. So I went around a little bit in my like city, and I caught a few, and then that was it.
I remember I refused to play it like when I first got it, just because like I had like
It wasn't
like
the
I had
same.
friends, and it wasn't the same. And like I have friends who were just like they'd be like, oh, I just caught a Jigglypuff. It's like that's not its name. You know, like I'm over here getting triggered by all these people. They like I had a friend who she was like, oh, I caught that squirrel Pokemon. And I'm like, the squirrel Pokemon? I'm sitting here thinking,
Squirvet?
Pachirisu. Well, Squirvet didn't exist yet, but I was like, Pachirisu's not in the game. It's all Gen 1. And she's like, the squirrel. It evolves into 3 different things. And I'm like,
What?
Eevee? And she's like, yeah, that's it. I'm like, how is that a
Oh my
squirrel?
gosh, that's the first time I've ever heard it like as a squirrel, but it kind of makes sense. It kind of looks
No,
like
it
a
doesn't.
squirrel.
make sense.
No, it
Interpretation
doesn't.
just
Doesn't
dropped.
make
No.
sense at all.
That
It's got the
tail,
body of-
the color.
No,
kinda-
no, stop encouraging it.
No,
Stop
so that's
encouraging
not it. That's not it. That's not it.
I kind of see it.
I mean,
It's
the
not- it's
tail's
not
the wrong shape. It is bushy, but it's like the wrong shape. Maybe I could see a chipmunk.
Maybe the colors is what it was,
Well,
the brown. I mean,
But
to
You
try
use a
to
chipmunk.
rationalize my
Well-
friend here.
and I think it looks more like a squirrel than a chipmunk, because a chipmunk's tail is like,
Yeah, tiny.
It's
tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eevee,
but-
Eevee at least has a big tail like a... I mean, okay.
it's not
You
a
know what?
long
You know
tail.
what?
Squirrels have long
I-
tails.
I'm not defending this, but put Squirvet next to Eevee, and I think you'll start to see it.
And take
I'm not
into-
defending this.
Take into account that they are Pokemon too, so it could be like anything.
Well, okay.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah, it's true.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm still
what's a
friends
good
with this
example?
person. I'm gonna send her this episode.
Maybe Flareon. Flareon. I could see Flareon being a squirrel because that's a bushy tail, and it all
Yeah.
It's like all the hairs stick out. I can see
But see,
that.
she wasn't talking about Flareon. She was talking about Squirvet or Eevee. I mean, so
Eevee.
no, there's no logic.
New Eevee interpretation just dropped. Squirrel.
Yeah,
You guys ever realize like Sylveon has like a flat face? Sylveon is like doesn't have a snout. I feel like it should have a snout like the other Pokemon, right?
I agree.
I mean, I
feel
think
like-
it has like the same size snout as like Vaporeon.
Does it? Maybe I'm just thinking
Yeah,
of like
give
the
or
official
take.
art. The
Yeah,
official art
'cause,
is
like,
like
the
it's
official
looking
art,
right
it's
at the
like-
camera.
Or Leafeon.
Yeah. Stop.
It's like that. Sylveon is like that meme of like Phineas from Phineas and Ferb, where he's like staring directly at the camera. You know what I'm talking about? Like just the eyes,
Yeah.
like Bellable.
Yeah,
Belly
like belly
bolt.
bolt. Yeah. Oh man. All right, Gator. So I've got a new segment I call "Try to Impress the Guest."
Oh gosh.
Oh,
Oh wait,
like
no, I'm the
rhymes.
guest. Never mind. I got scared. I got scared for a second. I'm like, oh gosh, who am I? I'm gonna have to
So-
impress this guest. Who's this guest? I'm gonna have to.
So my light did die, but let me get up. Let me get a light right here. This is not base set.
Oh, dude.
Actually, no, it might be base set. Do they do
It's-
first edition?
Can't remember. I think that what is that from?
It's from
I think
Neo.
it's the first one. It's the first for
I think it's
Alligator,
the first one.
Was that the first? I think that was the second.
Yeah, you're right. The first one was like had its mouth open
Was the
with
crazy
like
one.
claws and everything.
Yeah,
Okay.
with the what was the ability on the first one?
That one is just a like its official art reprinted, but that is still
Yes.
a really good one.
I
Yes.
don't actually know if it's because I don't think they did first editions, or they didn't label
I
them
think-
first edition. I'm not sure.
I think they might have stopped that around Gen. I don't know too
this-
much about classic Pokemon, but yes.
So this could be first edition. On a
Nice.
scale from
Is
1
it-
to 10, are you impressed?
Yes. I'm an 8 on that.
Okay, all right.
Well,
Not
I
a
have another one.
Dusty,
I've got another
in your
one.
face.
I've got another
If
one.
you have the other one.
All right, this one is a newer one. It's an electric type
it.
for alligator. What is this called?
Wow.
Delta species?
Yes.
Yes.
See, that's always one of the cool artworks I'd see.
And I
Yeah.
think it's a reverse hollow. It is really
That's
cool
a pretty
art.
cool art. That's a
Yes.
really cool art.
See, I
But-
love because that's like one of the only ones where it like shows him like
Yeah.
on all fours like that.
So this
Like
is
the
the
beta
next
design.
This is what I was going to bring up next. Yeah. Have you seen that beta design? You have. What do you think of it? How do you? I mean, it makes me kind of sad that we don't see Feraligatr on all fours because that beta design is so cool.
Dang it, that looks so much cooler.
It is.
I wish it was like Skeletor's, where like it stood up, switched between them. You know.
I mean, I think that's all that is. It's not really a beta design. It's just
It's a beta sprite.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
it was a sprite that was in the game at one point.
Yeah, especially
Feraligatr.
since Totodile and Crocodile were always standing up.
Okay, as much as I love Feraligatr, the the 2004 like redraw of Feraligatr,
Yeah.
where it's the modern style, it looks so bad. Like the official art of Feraligatr, the modern
Yes.
official art does not look good. But that one, it looks so bad. Like what you got here? The hang on.
Oh yeah,
there.
right.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the
That is specifically for you.
that's the black and white sprite.
That's
That looks-
specifically for you. That's not normal
Yeah,
in here. Okay, all right.
I figured, yeah.
But it's staying.
the black and white,
Like, why
the
is it
black
not
and white
staying?
sprite? It is
Incredible.
it's so good. Yes.
Yeah. No, I see what you're
Can
talking
you-
about now. He's like
can
looking
you-
forward. He's like this. He's like,
Yeah. Yeah. No, it looks so bad.
it's a little silly. It makes him look more fluid, like water, like he's swimming.
yeah,
he
I
looks more
guess.
capable of
Since
swimming.
we're talking about Feraligatr sprites, GatorEX, can you weigh in on the Feraligatr butt thing?
Buttgate.
Yeah.
The butt. See, I see it every day.
That's a Gen
Well, not
3.
every
That's
day,
a
but-
Gen
He sees it
3
every
shit.
day.
Yeah. It appears in my head.
It
comes
haunts
into my feed, and I'm like, no, it's the
You have night terrors. You wake up, you can't
Night
move,
terrors about
and you
it.
just see it shimmying. And
it's I'm trying to play Pokemon, and that's all I can think of.
Yeah.
Okay, how do I battle? Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all.
Don't use Dragon Dance on that Feraligatr.
Dragon
I
Dance,
mean,
yeah, shimmy, shimmy.
It's supposed to be like the bumps and the
muscle or
lumps,
something,
but it's
right?
It is supposed to be
Right.
that. I feel like.
it's just not.
Do you think it was purposeful?
It's unfortunate.
Do you think it was like the coders like snuck it in like they did Mew? They were
No,
they're
it's-
like, this is gonna be good. Like, the fans are gonna
No,
love this.
no.
Playground.
All right, listen.
I mean, there is the Torchic thing.
Yeah.
That is
Wasn't that
true.
The same gen?
Torchic-
Wasn't that the same gen?
Torchic has there's a male and female. There's a gender difference between the two Torchic sprites, and this carries into even Generation 8. But the difference is literally one single pixel, a black pixel, where it's maybe butthole is.
Well, it's like on the cheek.
Yeah.
Videos
It's on it's on a cheek. It's like a mole. It's
First
like a right?
video that's monetized, and it's done.
Yeah, we might get demonetized for this.
I think like it isn't. I heard somewhere
Here we go.
that it's both like I guess they do that with actual chicks where like they'll
They
like
mark it.
Yeah.
they mark them
I think that
so
is
so that you can tell what's what,
I've also heard that.
for like
That's
the
pretty cool. I
for
didn't know that's
farming
why they
purposes.
did that. I mean,
I
I didn't
heard
think
that
that it was
somewhere.
them actually
Oh.
making like a butt to it, but I was surprised that like I mean I don't know, I assumed like they just were like do something with Torchic here, and they just threw in a random black spec. I didn't know there was thought to it like that. That's pretty cool.
I don't know if I should read this. All right, so this comes from Dr. Lava. It's called Sexing
Oh, yeah.
Torchic. Male Torchic, I can edit this out. Male Torchic have one brown pixel on their butts that females don't. This is a reference to vent sexing, a Japanese technique where chick sexers squeeze the poop out of a newborn to see if it has a bump if it does, the sexer knows it's a male. So
I like what GatorEX said better.
Yeah,
it's completely scientific.
Well,
I don't
never
think there
mind.
should be anything wrong with that. I mean,
I thought it was something else.
That's how they figure it out, I guess. What are you gonna do?
I guess I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'll send a picture to you guys. So you
no pictures.
Yeah, there's a picture. It's good. It's okay to be on Twitter. So.
Guys, check out the
pictures.
chick poop.
Yeah.
So your reaction was priceless.
Poopymon, let's go.
Anyway, for Alligator.
So it's kind of surreal in 2018 when the gold and silver beta leaks just like happened to just show up on the internet. Like at the time, I was like, wow, this is fun. But it's been like 5 years later, nothing else has happened like that. It's created all this buzz and I think this like cult following for beta designs. And like, I don't know, like I know there are some beta. There have been things that have been leaked from other games, but it makes me curious, like how much could really be on the cutting room floor? Could we ever see another beta dump like we did in 2018 with the gold and silver games? Like I'm sure there's tons of stuff from Generation 4. Actually, there are a lot of beta images from Generation 4.
Oh yeah.
But like even Gen 5, Gen 6, Gen 7, like
because I know like an early build of Sword and Shield got out. Maybe a year after release, and it had a few things in it, but nothing substantial as like the gold silver stuff.
Yeah.
There's like this mythos when it like comes to the older games, right? I feel like because it's so old, it's a different medium, right? We don't play pixel games like that anymore. It feels just a little bit more special, when in reality it was just like earlier technology. But it is really cool. And it's also cool to see some of these Pokemon, at least some of the designs from some of these earlier Pokemon, show up in newer generations of Pokemon. That's been fun to follow as well.
I have to wonder if it is a thing of like, oh, they are recycling these ideas or these designs, or if that's just like, happy accident kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you want to believe, it's like, it's super easy to believe because, again, Palmont looked somewhat similar to the fire bear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I feel like I feel like there are better examples. I just can't think of much.
The
like imagine
Surfetched Madam thing was, I think, the biggest one that I always think of.
Yeah, like a direct evolution for Farfetch'd is really cool.
That one's not
really
the
had,
same.
Instead of the mask, it was like the eyebrows.
It's a completely different design. It was probably reworked into Swanna, but the fact that they thought Farfetch'd should evolve, right? They've been sitting on that for a long time.
Well, and Surfetch'd being all white could have been a reference to that.
True. Yeah.
Like it does have very similar visual aesthetics. The mask turning into like the black eyebrows.
Yeah.
And
true.
then the it being white, that like, to me, I always saw that as like that was a reference to Madam.
Instead of like I think it has like long arms and maybe like a neck, like a swan.
Oh yeah, it was much more swan-like. Like I said, like purely homage to it.
Yeah.
It's an ugly
like in
duck
a
kind of
similar
thing.
way to how like
Yeah.
Leafeon kind of has some similarities.
That's
to
the craziest one. That Leafeon
to
was
the beta one.
Yeah, dude. Leafeon's design was supposed to be out in Gen 2, maybe even Gen 1, but
It
I
had
think that
like
was the coolest
roots.
thing. Yeah.
Which I'm so conflicted because like that was such a cool design, the beta one, but also Leafeon is a gorgeous design in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I think
I don't know which I'd prefer.
I think I'm happy with the one that we got. The older one is a little bit weird with the viney legs. That is kind of gross. The roots are like hair. I think that's kind of weird. Oh, so do you like? So you are a Gator aficionado. What is your rating of Skeledirge?
Skeledirge.
Yeah,
The thing,
you
like,
know.
if I'm being honest, Fuecoco, I liked it, and just the fact that, like, oh yeah, another Croc. But honestly, I think he's just okay. Like, in hindsight, it's like, okay, he's around Little Gator. He's funny.
We had this conversation when we did our tier list last week. I agree. We won't rehash it.
I said it was
Okay.
S tier.
Yeah.
Lumi's a big fan.
No, Final Evolution, I think, brings it together.
Yeah, I agree. But Saul, don't say anything because he
So
disagrees with that.
I'm a big
Let's hear it.
fan of
Go ahead.
Crocodile. So I want to know how you feel about that line as well.
I mean,
yeah.
that one also, like...
Crocodile is sick. Crocodile is really cool.
See, and I like that, like, there's such diversity so far.
Yeah.
In, like, typings, too. Is that, like, okay, you get, like, big water gator, you get sand, dark, croc. And again, that, like, just I love Crocodile. Just the fact, again, it gets Moxie, which is cool ability.
True. Yeah.
And Intimidate. Oh,
And Intimidate.
so
yeah.
good.
Yeah. It's got
Take your pick.
It's got sunglasses just built in.
Yeah.
And it has
true.
extra sunglasses in the anime.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Double
it
the
does.
sunglasses.
Yeah. A true 4 eyes. 6 eyes.
Really
Oh, gosh.
blocking out the haters.
Or is it 8?
Is it 8? How could it be 8?
Well, if it's 4, but if
Oh, you double it?
if it's 4, but then you double it again, does that make it 8?
I think it. I don't know.
True.
I never saw it as like a double. I saw it as like. Well, I guess it could be. Yeah. All right.
This
I
has
got
blown my mind.
I got another question. So we're talking about beta Pokemon. That's great. But what about like you've also done videos on Virus Groudon, for example. What other non-canon Pokemon forms can you think of that you're like I wish this existed? This is something that like I need to see, and I do think like maybe not with the Pokemon, the individual Pokemon, but like a lot of the forms or like the gimmicks that they've introduced in the anime, they have eventually brought them or like retconned them to exist in some capacity in the video games.
Crystal
Oh,
Onyx.
Yeah, Ash Greninja.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That was one. It's like, well, then again, there's the conspiracy with Pokemon Z. Of whether that was meant to come out or not.
It totally was. It's encoding. I'm a believer.
Yeah.
X2Y2.
I want to believe.
Because the Virus
Oh, no.
Groudon was really cool. What was the Virus Groudon again?
It was just that. We need a climax for the movie.
Yeah.
Well,
See, but why not
it
do
was
so
regular
right.
Groudon? I never understood that. Like they're just like, we need a climax for the movie. Make a Groudon on steroids.
Yeah.
What? I guess they saved Groudon for like the main series because this was like a clone of Groudon, but like a corrupted
Yeah.
clone.
I liked
And-
the little virus they did for the Lucario movie too. That was like, it was didn't it take the shape of like the fossil Pokemon? I can't remember which manga it was because there's like the Electric Tail of Pikachu and there's adventures, but one of them had like some weird little bug thing that someone caught, and it was like said to be like the weakest Pokemon ever. And it was like, it never got a name. It was just this weird little squid bug thing.
Yeah, what about the mongoose and the bird from the Gen 1 anime? I want to see those in a Pokemon game.
Just get them all in there.
Yeah, all the real life animals. There's also stuff like, Primal.
The substitute doll.
Yeah,
the regular dog.
Yeah, the regular
Yeah.
dog. Yeah,
Gosh, I need to find that the regular dog.
yeah. Before they introduced Mr. Mime, the man at Ash Ketchum's mom's house was just like a boyfriend.
Okay, so this is to Bulbapedia.
Scrubby
Okay,
Bubbles.
it is Red's unnamed Pokemon. This unknown Pokemon was captured by Red in the big battle in the Viridian Forest. It was a second Pokemon after Clefairy. It is never named, and the only other thing known about this Pokemon is that it is supposedly very weak. It escaped from its Pokeball in the same chapter. Although it is commonly seen as a bug type by the fandom, it is most likely a really off-model Diglett, as later representations of Diglett by Anakubo seem to confirm.
Oh, that's cool. All right, I'll put all that
This has
information
a
on the
full
screen. That's sick.
list of like the like unreleased Pokemon, like the substitute doll, baby Kangaskhan, the original legendary beasts.
That dog is just Fido.
The bones
Oh, no,
worn by
dang it.
Lullaby.
So that dog's
No, we
about to
couldn't.
be
Dog.
eaten.
Oh my gosh.
We could retcon that.
We could.
No, but I wanted to stay regular dog.
What's your favorite
Yeah.
dog Pokemon? Dog type Pokemon.
Dog type.
Dog type.
Dog type. Are we counting dogs or like all canids?
I think all canids. I think all the ones that were introduced this gen were kind of, they're just not my favorites. Until, there's a spider. Lumi's showing me a spider right now from the anime. That's sick. That's not even Ariados.
No, it's an unnamed arachnid from the anime.
We love
What
that.
is this? All right, we got to dig into this.
That's
Yeah.
a bee drill.
It says
It
this
is a
creature
Beedrill.
made
It
its
could be a
sole
Beedrill, yeah.
appearance in the superhero secret. It seems to be a giant yellow spider with 4 red compound eyes, 2 antennae on its head, and a mouth with 4 large fangs. Its cry is a screech, not unlike Victory Bell, so it sounds It sounds like a victory bell.
Yeah,
The
don't
nature
actually
of
do
its
the noise.
appearance
I thought he was going
was-
to.
Yeah, no, I'm
I thought you were ready. I thought you were
No,
going to
no, no. It sounds like no.
I was gonna say just like the Mecha Tyranitar from
Yeah, dude.
PokeStar Studios, but they canonized that now.
Yeah,
so.
he's
Yeah,
real.
no, it's Iron Thorns.
Do you guys have any questions for Gator? I got some more here, but
Yeah, we still had the dog one.
Yeah,
If we're talking about like the Scarlet Violet ones,
sure.
they're fine.
they really are just fine. I feel like
I don't like.
Yeah, I'm a Gen 1 guy. I'm not really a Gen 1 guy, but like I feel like with early generations of Pokemon, I still imagine them as like wild beasts. And like all of the dog Pokemon we've got, while it does make sense and it's fine, they're all like domesticated dogs.
I like Darkspun a lot though.
Darkspun
I
is
like
good.
That
Okay.
was,
Yeah.
that was a twist on a dog rather than just a dog. So I
Yeah,
like
But
that.
twist.
I'm actually blanking on the third one. I remember. Oh, Houndstone.
Yeah.
Houndstone's cool concept, not the best execution.
It kind of remind me of like the
So yours-
Stoutland line. Stoutland's kind of just like to me as well. It's just like normal
I don't like
dogs.
I like Stoutland a lot. That line
I
is
do
maybe
like-
just because it's like plain normal type. I'm like, this needs to exist at some point.
My wife and I often fight over this because she hates this Pokemon, but I actually really like it. Furfrou.
That's a great Pokemon. It's got
Yes.
It's cool looking. You know, like it's got a nice look to it with all the hair everywhere, and then it has the gimmick. It just like steps it up another level, I think.
Yeah, see, that's my
true.
thoughts. But she's like, I think she does this thing where she compares them to the real dog, and is like, do I like the real dog? No.
No.
So I don't like this dog.
It's
Yeah.
got such a good shiny.
Yes,
does.
its shiny is epic.
Oh, its shiny is good, yeah.
Who knew
Yeah.
a poodle could
All right.
be epic?
My favorite's
All right.
Lycanroc, though, and will always be Lycanroc. Hisuian Arcanine's also amazing, though. Is that a dog or a tiger? We'll never know.
Which one? Hisui?
Dog.
Hisuian Arcanine.
Yeah, I
bark.
think it's a dog. Yeah.
He bark.
Growlithe
I
is a
would
puppy.
say it's a dog more than
Growlithe is a
regular
puppy.
Arcanine, in fact.
Yeah.
Here's a better question. What's your favorite Furfrou style?
Pharaoh.
Egyptian. Yeah.
No style. That's the one for me.
No.
No style is
You know
good
what?
too.
Actually,
Shaggy.
I
no,
do
no.
like no style.
I'll agree. The Shaggy one is cooler.
Yeah.
I think.
I do like the Shaggy style.
I don't need it to have like all of those different ones. I really like it just how it is, and the shiny, like, forget it. I'm just like, yes, I support
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Invert those colors. Let's go.
Yeah.
Machamp.com.
Yeah.
Or what is
No.
it called? Machamps.
I don't.
Machamps.
Don't
Much
promote
it-
that
oh.
on this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Original style.
Mm-hmm.
Original is good. It is good. I do like the Pharaoh a lot, though.
Yeah.
I can't tell you why. I just love it. I dig it.
They haven't brought that back, have they? Wasn't it like only in Gen 6?
Well,
The different styles.
Furfrou, however you say it, is not like actually hasn't been back for a while here.
It was in Gen 7. It was in the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon decks.
Mm-hmm. I think that was the
But
last one.
could you change the style?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, you could. In the salons where you would get your haircut,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you could also get Furfrou's haircut there.
Interesting.
Or at least
Yeah,
the one in Howoli City.
they made them available
Okay.
in
I didn't
Pokemon
know
Go, and then that rarity totally spiked. I've been seeing those all over Pokemon Home. So something I love that Generation 9 did was make the special Vivillon, or Vivillon. They made the special form of it that was given away during X and Y. The only Pokemon that you can, or the only form that you can capture in Paldea. I think that is so cool.
I do think that's neat.
Such a cool retcon.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I
It
wonder,
makes it
like
the one in Paldea when you got as a gift, it was from a neighboring region the whole time. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
I love that. And then it's like, well, where are you gonna find the Pokeball pattern one, right? Where could that show up?
Whatever the kingdom with Magearna is.
Yeah.
that would make sense. That would make
Which
sense.
could be like an ancient Alola, maybe, since it's technically an Alolan mon.
Well, no.
Yeah.
It's Gen Z.
I'm with you. I'm
Or
with
Gen
you.
Z. Stupid
It's
Pokemon.
Gen Z.
Yeah. That's my
That's
thoughts
the
on
Gen
it as
Z
well.
Pokemon.
It looks like you can get that Pokeball form of Vivillon or Vivillon. Is it Vivillon or Vivillon?
Vivillon is how I say it.
Because it's
Vivillon.
French. Vivillon. You
I'm
can
pretty
get
sure
that
it's Vion
Pokemon
in
Snap.
the anime.
Is it? Oh,
Pretty sure.
there's the white pattern too. Or is that just?
I thought
is
the
that
white pattern was
the moon,
was
the
just
monsoon
found
pattern.
anywhere.
It is, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, but depending on like where you are in the world.
Interesting. Gator,
Which
is
was
there
a sad way to do that. They should have at least made it where, like, if you got a Scatterbug from, like, France, it can evolve into whatever the French Vivillon was.
Yeah.
IMO.
Oh, that'd be a good idea. Did you guys like get into like collecting the Vivillon?
I didn't, but my
A
favorite
little bit.
form was a foreign form. My favorite form was the purple one. And I really, really wanted one, and I could never get one until, like, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
It's definitely
Gen
tough.
6, yeah, they're really tough to get. Gen 6 with the GTS, really, that was the first time I completed a Pokedex, and I utilized the GTS to actually, like, just trade for, like, all sorts of random things. But I remember also, like, farming shinies as well. Like, I would, like, hunt the GTS, reload the same page until something went up. It'd be, like, a low-level horde, like, on Oddish or something, a shiny Oddish or whatever the Pokemon was, and I'd scoop it up because they were never asking for anything that crazy. Oh, no, what I would do is I would use it. I would farm Moonstones, Sunstones, which are rare, evolve that Pokemon, or like I get like a Clefairy or something, which was rare. Trade that for one of the legendary birds. Trade that for like Reggie. Trade that for like a box legendary. And then eventually I had multiple every legendaries, and I was able to just like farm all these shinies.
Oh gosh.
You guys want to hear something bad? I actually remember skipping class one day to do that. This was in college.
That stuff takes
Dusty.
a while. Oh, wait, you did it in
college.
college.
Doesn't count. It
was in
doesn't
college.
count if you skip class in college.
I passed, baby. I don't have my
They don't care.
diploma right here, but
Right, they don't care. That's exactly right. I remember in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I was trying to get me a perfect Dunsparce just cuz.
Sure.
And I hatched a perfect shiny Dunsparce. And it wasn't what I wanted, and I'm not a big fan of Dunsparce's shiny, so I gave it to my wife, and now my wife is like, it's perfect, it was full odds, it's shiny, she's like, it's literally best all around in its stats, she's like, if I bring it in to Paldea and it evolves into 3-segment, it is the Dunsparce.
she's gonna battle with you with it and crush you. I don't want to be in the house when that happens.
We'll see. I ain't worried.
What do you guys think of, or Gator, what do you think of for Alligator Shiny?
I like it. It's a different shade of blue, but
I'm blanking on its shiny.
it's
Look it up.
It's like teal or turquoise fins. Those
I
are
guess.
fins, right?
They're spines, I thought.
Scutes. They're called scutes.
Also, like, you know, I only catch for Alligator in a lure ball. That's the only ball to match it, right?
Yes.
You just had to bring that up.
Oh, I like it shiny.
It's good,
Quick
isn't it?
ball for alligator. Let's go.
Come on.
Quick ball
Maybe-
for alligator.
That actually might make sense with the shiny.
Actually, with the base one, because it's got yellow.
It does
I
have
think that's
yellow.
Similar.
But no.
Somebody made like a gigantic like it matches the balls to the Pokemon, like different colors, like a whole spreadsheet of every single Pokemon and their shinies.
Yeah.
I wonder if it has that as a like the quick ball is good for regular for alligator, because that I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah. Although I feel like great ball
Yeah,
works best with regular.
definitely.
I don't really like the great ball. I think the great ball is kind of boring.
I use it a lot for a lot of
Yeah.
blue Pokemon.
I like it. How y'all feel about the quick ball?
No. It's not good.
For alligator,
I think it's cool. Like the whole like matching a Pokemon with a Pokeball, I kind of don't care.
no,
I-
we don't care.
I
either.
mean,
If it's a non-offensive ball, then like fine, right? Like if it's a Pokeball,
What's an offensive ball?
Whatever. But if it's an offensive ball, like a quick ball, I literally just failed a shiny Tatsugiri because I didn't use a quick ball, but I also didn't know it was gonna memento and kill itself. But that was
Dusty,
that was
Dusty,
rage-inducing.
Dusty,
That was bad.
Dusty, 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 Dusty. Rookie mistake.
It was a
You
late-
always quick ball the memento mons. Come on, man.
you
know.
taunted
You know this.
I didn't know it. I didn't know, man. I didn't know.
Or yeah, taunted.
And
That's good.
And
too.
I typically, like, when I find a shiny, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Let me go on, let me check its moveset. And I typically do that, and it's usually fine. And this one time I said, it's a Tatsugiri. What's it going to have? Water gun? And that was
Wow.
I mean, I guess
was
the
wow.
more
and
important
that's
question.
when that Tatsugiri decided, oh yeah, I'm mementoing on this for you.
Yeah.
The more
that's not
important
good.
question is why didn't you save before
I didn't-
entering the battle?
I didn't know
or
I could
whatever?
do that. I haven't had to do that yet. But now, so is that how it works? You just save right before? When you see
Yeah.
something, you save, and then it won't disappear. It's
In
not
its
gonna reload.
space, yeah. In its space. If you leave the area and save or something, or you save and then you leave the it'll
Wow.
respawn. But you can save right in
Okay.
front of it.
It's
I already,
better content.
I actually failed a shiny, like around the same thing. I forget. Oh, it was a shiny Sableye. So I really didn't care, but it was the first shiny I ever saw.
That's a good shiny.
Yeah, that's one
it
of
was
my favorites.
random.
Hang on.
That's a
Like,
good
Let
one.
me.
Completely
it's like
full
gold.
odds.
It's like yellow gold.
Now that's a quick
remember-
ball shiny.
Yeah.
No,
I remember-
it's an
yeah,
ultra
Yeah,
ball
it is.
shiny.
It is.
It's-
I remember.
I do.
When
yeah,
we
what's
were
up?
playing through Scarlet and Violet, everybody was like, I mean, we were like in a Discord server, and everybody's sending like all the shinies they're finding full odds to, like, just through their playthrough. Like, I remember our friend SB Juju found like he found like 50 shinies. I mean, it wasn't even fair. And then Cam Tendo, he also found constant shinies.
Yeah,
And
it's so
he found
unfair.
a full odds Nimble that was shiny. And he's a big Kamen Rider fan, so it was perfect for him. But
I know, that was pretty. epic.
I found a shiny Meryl, and my wife is livid because she hasn't found a shiny yet, and she wants a shiny. She runs into a shiny Dugtrio, and
man.
it mud slaps her Ponyard. Ponyard's, accuracy or speed, whatever, falls, and then Defiant activates, and Ponyard one-shots the Dugtrio.
Oh my gosh.
And she was so upset, but then the game gave her a shiny Dratini full odds and then a
That's
shiny
sick.
Vaporeon full odds.
Yeah, she can't complain.
Those are
Yeah,
better.
no,
Alright,
she
alright.
doesn't now. She doesn't now.
Yeah, those are
Gator,
better.
have you got any shinies yet in Scarlet and Violet?
One. Like.
One?
And best thing is it happened on stream
Okay, that's actually,
Nice.
That's key.
because, and I guess the best part is because like, I had lost to, or I was rounding out the game and I had lost to Aerie, so someone said, "Oh, catch a Veluza," and so I'm like, all right, fine, let me go catch a Veluza, and I head to the lake and I'm just walking or running, and I see like a group of Goomy and one of them is just obviously yellow.
Oh, that's sick.
Nice.
So
Nice.
That's really
That's a
good.
good
that's it.
shiny,
So
too.
far-
That's a good
yeah,
shiny,
yeah.
too.
So
I
far,
think.
just this shiny Goodra now.
Yeah.
What are-
That's all I got for Scarlet Violet.
I mean, that's definitely a great one. What are some of your favorite Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet? Like, what are some of your like favorite moments or Pokemon, or like what are your lasting impressions of the game?
I don't know if maybe it's just like how things are right now, but I feel like maybe not that I can't get into it, but like I definitely enjoyed it, and I love, of course, the last bit in Area Zero. I think that's
Yeah.
all amazing. And I think I mentioned it. It's cool. There's the open world stuff, and it was something interesting to try. But me personally, I'm like I don't think I would be excited for another game built like this.
Yeah,
Really?
For Pokemon. That's just me.
How'd you feel about Legends? Did you feel similar about Legends, or?
I feel like Legends kind of had it better in terms of like, splitting things up.
Yeah.
In terms of like splitting things up into these big maps.
Right.
The one thing that Legends needed for that was to let you to just go from like Crimson Mirelands
Yes.
straight to Obsidian Fieldlands
Yes.
instead of having to go back to the
Absolutely
town. And then,
agree. Absolutely agree. Yes. But your recent video about the Frostlass, really good. Love that.
oh, thanks.
I want to know what some of your favorites are, Rex. Like the Scarlet and Violet Pokemon.
I think obviously Skeledirge.
That was a big one for you then. Like Skeledirge you really liked it.
Oh yes, yeah. Because for me, it's just kind of like, I guess not everything I wanted, but I think that like it's just for me personally, it just ticks a lot of boxes. It's like, all right, cool. Fire and Ghost type, but fire types are like Ghost types specifically are cool. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, Croc, cool. Something different, like being a Croc and it's different, like it's on all fours.
Right.
Cool. Like
bird.
the specifically. Oh yeah, the bird. Yeah. Specifically a sound-based Pokemon. Because I really like the concept of sound-based stuff in Pokemon, and so just getting to see like something extra or something else for it, with that Pokemon, it for me personally just ticked a lot of boxes.
Nice.
Of like just cool concept I want to see.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
others?
So we all four of us picked. We have 4 people on here right now. All of us picked Fuecoco. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, we did.
So
We
good.
definitely did. I think it's the most
It's a
popular
great
one,
design.
to be honest. But
Yeah, it is absolutely.
Interesting. Yeah,
I'm just
I feel
happy. Yeah.
Is it in
I feel like
Japan though? In
Sprigatito.
Japan, isn't it Meowscarada? That's the most popular. Maybe I'm wrong.
I would imagine.
I think yes. I think yeah.
Okay.
I'm just happy we have like an animal starter Pokemon again. It feels like a really long time since we had something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's been, to me, it feels like since like, I don't know, even
Gen
Decidueye
5?
didn't feel super. Greninja to me feels super animal. It feels like a frog.
Yes, but it has the Jobmon thing. It's because it's. I agree.
Yeah.
I also think Rillaboom feels like a. It just feels
Yeah.
like it.
See,
like
but
a
Rillaboom,
gorilla.
we've discussed this, like, I feel like several different times on several different, like, things. But Rillaboom with the drum just appearing, that I don't
It's
like
so
that.
weird.
It
Yeah.
it should have it on its back, because, like, in camping, it has it on its back. It should have it on its back, and, like, when it comes out of battle, like, grab it off.
Takes it. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But then it appears out of nowhere and then it grows.
Have you seen, like, its drumsticks in the anime? In the anime, it just, like, literally has its hand, and it just, like, pew,
Appears.
the drumstick comes out, and he
That's
grabs
actually
it.
kind of cool if it just like grows out.
Yeah,
of
it
its
comes out of his
palm.
like leaf parts.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
leaf parts. It's an earthbend.
He's like
Or it's
Spider-Man, you know, he just pew, but it's
Yeah.
drumsticks.
Kind of cool.
It's a little silly, but anyways, yeah.
Organic drumsticks.
Organic drumstick.
That wasn't in the comics. What do you think of Primarina then?
I like Primarina. I like Primarina a lot. I didn't appreciate it when Sun and Moon was out, but just over time I grew to like really appreciate it for what it is. I mean, I don't know what I expected it to be. I think I had a thing where that I had to get over with like Pokemon with hair. I just didn't like.
That's what it is
but,
for me. And then it's
but
shiny.
I got over it with Primarina.
Primarina
Does sound
shiny
weird.
has blonde hair.
Yeah, I don't like the shiny.
Yeah.
So that I honestly, when you say Primarina, I think of the blonde hair. It is an animal.
It's a
and it is a
mermaid.
it is a mermaid. It doesn't have feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. The hair just it freaks me out.
I still hate Brion though. I hate Brion.
So strong.
Oh,
I don't mind
I-
Brion. You know what? Yeah, I don't know.
Do you remember the fake
all of these?
Poplio evolution art, the creepy clown?
Yes.
He starts laughing. He knows
thing's
exactly
the
what
worst.
I'm talking
That would have been worse.
That's
You know it's
horrifying.
true.
about. Oh yeah.
no, we were spared.
Yes, definitely spared. I like Primarina these days. I didn't at first.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the same same boat as Lumi there. It grew on
Yeah.
me a lot. Are you suggesting that it is not? I mean, I guess it isn't really humanoid-like. Are you suggesting that it's
It's
like more
not.
like an animal, Rex, or?
I think
Yeah,
it's supposed to
like,
be
that's what I was-
humanoid-like in the sense that it's a mermaid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose, but because it's one of the ones that like I think definitively is shaped more like a sea lion.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Incineroar definitely is not shaped like a tiger.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And you were saying Decidueye, I think more or less is shaped like an owl, but it uses its wings as hands.
It has
Right.
crazy articulation. Yeah.
Yeah, it moves like a human.
Yeah.
Well, like for me personally, I think Primarina does fall more into the animal thing where like, you know, it's shaped like a sea lion.
Yeah.
For the most part, it moves like a sea lion, aside from like when it, you know, it'll stand up on its tail, right?
Sing.
Yeah.
I agree.
When it sings.
It really is the movement. I guess that really is what it is, because like, or like the the limitation, because it's like Skeledirge does get up and sing, but its
Yes.
body is structured like a crocodile, where it's got these like it's got these short arms and legs, and even when it stands up, it doesn't stand upright and have the posture of like Palafin, right?
It looks more like it's rearing almost.
exactly.
Yeah. And it
Yeah,
doesn't
and, like,
stay
I
at,
mean-
like it doesn't
Doesn't
look like
stay
it
there.
could maintain that for a
Right.
while. Like it,
Right.
Exactly.
it goes back
And
down.
like to go to Dusty's point about Greninja, I mean he stands up and does the whole like ninja thing, you know.
Yeah.
So like, I mean he
Greninja
he
doesn't-
poses on like a frog.
Greninja doesn't. It's not that like offensive to me. Like I actually like Greninja. Honestly, all the Gen 6 starters I do like a lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I want to know, GatorEX, what are your hopes, wishes, maybe even predictions if you have them for Scarlet and Violet DLC?
This will age poorly.
I know. I honestly
This is the part
cannot
where we
think-
get you now.
Yeah.
I know. 'Cause I feel like we'll get our answer in like a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
a lot of people
but-
have that
but,
sentiment
weeks.
right now. It's weird, but yeah.
I mean, well, because the announcement for Sword and Shield's DLC was just randomly in January.
Yeah. I think that was because of we've discussed this before. I think it's because like what it was with Sword and Shield, something that was really hurting the games, even though they performed well and all, was the National Dex controversy. The DLC was literally fixing that, so they had to reveal it in January so they could be like, "Hey, whoa, calm down! Look,
there's more coming.
We're fixing it." Mm-hmm. You know, and there's not a need for Scarlet and Violet because we knew going in it wouldn't be like that, and we also know going in DLC is going to add more.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you have any expectations for the game?
I honestly couldn't tell you because I think there's like the obvious, Southern Kalos, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I feel like, and there's that area, like in terms of where you go. Yeah, it could be Southern Kalos, but I'm really trying to think, like, because if they do DLC, it's gonna have to be another whole area, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They can't just add on extra story of saying like, okay, now here's this quest where so and so shows up and they reveal the true nature of the legendary Pokemon and that thing happens, but it's all still the same area.
Right. That feels more like Daybreak.
It could be.
Yeah, Daybreak, exactly. It could be.
But probably wouldn't be well received.
Yeah, no, it would not.
Especially if you have to pay for it.
Yeah,
it's like what you're paying for is really like, what are the things that sell, right? There are experiences, but the things that are going to last is new places to explore, new Pokemon, new characters.
Yeah.
That's like easy. It's just like a piece of a new game.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of, because there's tons of islands surrounding, Spain and Portugal. There's the Azores. There's, stuff where,
Please let it be Azores. Please.
Yeah, right. There's stuff in like the Atlantic Ocean. There's the, what is it called? The Strait of Gibraltar. There's, you could go east and then you have all those Mediterranean areas. Like there's a lot of cool stuff they could do.
I think the Strait of Gibraltar's already been done, though, to be honest. I think like that Alfornada area is supposed to be that. Like I think the whole Alfornada like being up is supposed to be like the Rock of Gibraltar or even that mountain that's next to it.
I never thought of that. I like that.
But like, and it even has very Moroccan vibes to it, which would make sense because that's like the closest point to Morocco.
Espathra is there. You get the chili pepper, Scovillain.
Well, I mean the city itself. The city itself is very. I mean, the music and everything. It's very, very African vibed.
I think what the rumor is right now is that there might only be one DLC, right? I think a lot of us were like, "Oh, there's got to be two."
I'll cry.
And I liked what they did with Scarlet and Violet. I'm sorry, Sword and Shield, where we had something in the middle of the year. It felt, Lumi and I were talking off camera, it felt like, it was a year-long event, right? It was a year-long Pokemon game. So I really hope for that. I mean, we'll find out in a month. I hope for that. But I guess, I don't know, if they only gave us one big DLC at the end of the year, I don't really know how good that would feel. I don't know.
I would like for them to do like a, because, obviously like they have some loose ends, if you will, to tie up. They're going to do, whatever's going on with the third legendary, as we're calling it, and they're going to do, whatever with the paradoxes of the legendary beasts and the Swords of Justice. So sure. I would like if like part 1 releases June, like Sword and Shield, and it is that story. So it is kind of closing the final chapter to the Scarlet and Violet story, if you will. And then you have part 2 comes out in October and is more like Crown Tundra or Isle of Armor, where it's a very separate story. Like, you really don't need to remember the events of Scarlet and Violet to play through this story and get it. You know what I mean? Like, Sword and Shield's DLC was so separate, but just from what we know, Scarlet and Violet's DLC is obviously going to be much more tied to Scarlet and Violet than Sword and Shield's was. But I'd like if they did one that was separate and its own isolated, exclusive story. I like that vibe of Crown Tundra, that it almost felt separated from Galaxy.
It felt like post-game, no, totally. That is interesting. I think there's also maybe some benefit there where it's like, if you are going to sell it around the holiday season, someone could potentially be getting it for the first time, not even having played Scarlet and Violet yet. You would want to include something that's like brand new that they can join in on the fun of, right, as it's happening with the rest of the fan base.
Right, absolutely.
So you're thinking that it wouldn't be focused on final legendary stuff? Like, obviously, post end game.
The part 2 wouldn't,
The part
to
2,
me.
okay.
Yeah, like the Crown Tundra to its Isle of Armor, if you will.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You really think they do that then? Like, have like the big story stuff in the middle of the year?
I mean,
don't know.
see, like, on the one hand, I would think they'd reserve it, but on the other hand, I am like, they'd probably want to do that first because that's the stuff they've been hitting at. So, like, that's when everybody's talking about Scarlet and Violet DLC, that's what they're talking about.
Like, chronologically, that makes sense.
Right.
Like, we just played this. Now here's a sequel. Now here's something else.
Like, it would be weird if they've laid all this stuff out. Like, they've had us find the book about the paradoxes, and they've had Arvin go, wait a second, if Mom and Dad made that time machine, how was Heath able to see these things? They do all that, and then they give us a story that's completely unrelated, and then they're like, okay, let's go back to that thing we mentioned last year,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or I guess they could do it the other way, where it's like, if the brand new story is in the middle of the year, that's just more incentive for like new players to join in, right? And then it gives you time to play through the game to actually get the resolution at by the end of the year. They could do it that way as well.
Soul's silence when we're talking about these things always make me go, is that like him saying...
Does he
like,
know something?
Like what,
yeah.
I feel like he's
Does
sitting
he
back
know?
just like...
Yeah,
He does.
know.
He does know things.
That's why I can't
he
see
doesn't
my
tell us
camera.
about it.
I can't give
Yeah.
away my
He's
facial
looking at his
expressions
notes.
for this.
I'm ready for you to do face cam Soul so I can look and like I can see Soul kind of like trying to hide
Yeah.
a smirk. And I can be like, oh!
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's Game Freak, guys. Like, they could do either.
Anything.
They could do
Absolutely.
either of those and get away with it. And I do agree that, like, I think that they'll do the most recent stuff sooner. Because it is, like, a year later. It would be, like, a little bit much. We've, like sucked dry the theories just based on what we have already. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like if they leave that all the way till like November, there's just not much left to be talking about. And if there's like a new story, I mean, it won't get finished basically, or would be finished in like that whole time. So it's an interesting thought.
I could see now. I totally forgot about Kalos for this last 5 minutes somehow.
Yeah.
But
How dare
it
you.
would actually
Somehow.
it would make a lot of sense. Middle of the year you get resolution to the story, and then by the end of the year they can market not DLC, but they kind of like market the DLC as like explore a brand new region. It's
It wouldn't
obviously
be
not gonna
Kalos,
be
it'd be South
it-
Kalos, yeah.
Yeah. I just mean like
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
Kalos ends up being. I don't mean the full region, but they can market
I would
it
be
like that.
fine with just I mean, I don't know, giving us areas like that's a South Kalos. It could be so small, few cities.
Yeah.
I don't care as long as they gave us music that was at least like a homage to the Kalos music. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
because
that'd be cool.
Kalos
The
has some of the
remixes?
best music to me. Like Brunway, that's that route to the right of Laver City. Probably my favorite music in a Pokemon game. Sycamore's theme is another just golden.
That's a good one, yeah.
It's so...
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Amazing.
we need
Gator,
it.
I feel like we've taken up way too much of your time. I really appreciate you coming through today. This was a lot of fun. Good to talk to you.
Definitely. Our first guest.
Yeah, man, first guest. This is a big deal for us.
Yeah, no, glad to be here. Glad to be the first guest. I think I mentioned it. Was it off camera where I said like, "Oh yeah, I've been watching the podcast. Actually, have you had any guests before?" And you're like, "No, you're
Yeah.
the first one." All right.
Yeah, but you want to plug yourself?
Yeah. So I make videos on the channel GatorEX. I also got GatorEX Yu-Gi-Oh for Yu-Gi-Oh
Yeah,
stuff.
we didn't even talk about
And
that.
oh yeah, which that's a whole other thing.
We'll have you back on and we'll talk about
we got-
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Sure. Got to drum up interest. Get that PokeTuber Master
100%.
Duel tournament going.
Well, dude, thank you so much for being on here. If you're listening on Apple Music or Spotify, please leave us a review. We've already hit 1,000 subs on YouTube. Soul will be showing his face very soon. So if you're not subscribed already, subscribe. Yeah, thank you, Gator. We'll see you soon, buddy. Links in the description for Gator's channel.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.